you navigate your path through life, all that is required is that you take one step at a time. Though hard it may be at times, each day, be committed to show up strong. Some days your strength can look different to other days. Just know this, that whenever you're at your worst, try to look your best. Dress up and face the world. That's the first step towards moving forward. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one simple step. Lao Tzu.
Hello everyone and welcome again to another episode of the One Step Podcast. I'm Dr. Jozelle Miller here in beautiful St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we are again enjoying the ambience of the Sunset Shores Beach Hotel in Villa St. Vincent. I want to encourage you now to call your friends, call your family, and get cozied up as we listen to another story of resilience, tenacity, and perseverance. Remember, the One Step Podcast is basically showcasing persons who would have endured certain things throughout their lives, and it is meant to be an inspiration and to help persons get a guide pretty much to navigate your own challenges. So you don't want to miss this, and we do have another special guest today, and I want to invite you at this time. Call your friends, get cozied up as we go and get some of our ads done, and we'll be right back.
At the professional counseling for a variety of life's personal and corporate challenges, including grief, bereavement, and post-traumatic stress. Our corporate packages also include competitive coping strategies, individual and group dynamics, professional development, and retreats. Perhaps you just need a wellness assessment or some help understanding who you are to restore your emotional balance. Whatever your emotional needs, remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step with the Vallejo experience. Talk to a specialist today. Call us at 1-784-498-7772 or visit our website at www.vallejoexperience.com.
Video marketing just got a whole lot better with CG Productions. Our promo videos are guaranteed to captivate your audience and drive results. Say hello to more traffic.
Don't settle for ordinary marketing materials. Choose CG Productions for extraordinary results.
And we are back. And today, my special guest is Mr. Esroy Bute. And he has a phenomenal story. I want you now to just simply welcome to the podcast platform, Mr. Esroy Bute. How are you doing, sir?
I'm blessed. Thank you for having me.
Oh, great, great. Well, let's get comfortable. I want you to tell me a bit more about yourself. Tell me about your upbringing, where you're from, all the good stuff about your childhood.
Yeah, well, I was born into the most beautiful village in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, South Rivers. The name, my mother is Prim Adina Haksha. Father, Ishmael Bute, who was a maintenance at the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital. Mm-hmm. Growing up in South Rivers, it wasn't easy, but when you're raised with someone who understands the value of life, which I was raised by my great-grandfather, whose name was Leslie Haksha. He died at the age of 101. He taught me and my other sister, who is now resides in England, that do not look at what somebody else have, but thankful for what you have, and work towards what you want to achieve. So therefore, each morning I wake up, I appreciate the fact that I have life and work towards what I want rather than what I do not have.
I mean, that is quite commendable because, most times we focus so much on what is missing rather than appreciating what we do have. And those principles that your grandfather would have taught you. And I mean, to live to be 101, wow, that is definitely worth celebrating. So that means then that you would expect that you're going to also clock in 100?
Well, I'll be living 107.
107?
It's longevity in our family life. You know? We have Sir Vincent who died 92 because that was his nephew. You know?
Oh,
he
right,
was born Haksha and adopted into Beach.
Oh, okay
So,
then.
yeah.
All right, so longevity. But with long years, obviously, would come, bring its own challenges and the ups and downs, the highs and lows. So you were brought up with the good pillars, the good principles of always pushing for what you want. And as a teenager, as a young adult, what was your life like?
As I said, I never grew up with the luxury of what I want, go to a parent to have it. So my mother was absent in my life, my father likewise, and then the little that my great-grandfather had he was only depending on his public assistant, then used to be $40 per month. So therefore, I have to become a man at a very tender age where I will have to go to work with people before and after school that caused me to drop out of school. I was never owned a textbook in my life, ever. But at the end of the day, because I understand what I want to become, and who I want to be in life, it motivates me to always do things that can empower and will empower myself.
Right.
So I always seek for every given opportunity that will make me the better person tomorrow. Because being this great person today, it should not stop you from wanting to be greater tomorrow.
So tell me something. When you had to go to work in the morning and then, before school and then after school, a lot of children today, if you just simply tell them to do some house chores, it's a problem. And they're right in the house that they don't want to wash dishes, they don't want to make their beds and stuff like that. But you had to actually seek employment. Added to that is the fact that you had to drop out of school. Were you at any point disgruntled, upset? How did this affect you?
No. As I said, even though I grew up in Soldiers, most young men around my age, I'm in my 40s, smoke, drink, and they're living a life that there's no tomorrow. I never see myself living that kind of life. So therefore, I never went into the hills where marijuana to work with anyone who plant marijuana. I never smoke. I never do a lot of stuff that most people doing. Growing up, what I used to love be doing is cooking. I love to cook. So when them sailor guy come home, they're looking for a chef when they want to hang out. That used to be me. So by growing up also in the DJ room of Africano, where I used to be selecting music for DJ because I'm a strong fanatic of music.
Okay.
That's why I now join SVG AMP and I just work with some calypso and I assist a little bit. We are actually into the process of planning a show for Independence Night. Yeah. So, I mean, I always know who I want to be.
Yeah.
So therefore, I always have the determination and the drive, and you have to be consistent, because sometimes wake up this morning with a plan, and then sometimes your mind can make you don't want to go forward, because sometimes you lie down and then bed might say, man, just stay here with
The
me.
bed said it.
Stay here with me. But you have to have that drive and that want, that thirst for something to want to get up out of bed. So today's generation, because they have the luxury of where parents providing stuff for them, they don't understand the value of a lot of stuff because they never really have the opportunity to work for stuff.
For it, yeah.
I couldn't remember, I listened to Elton John one time. Even though I'm not a supporter of two men, say the parenting children, that is their life. But he said, even though he has such amount of money, his two sons not going to benefit all of it. He trained them to do gardening. They had to work with them around the home and in the garden, just like if they have a job.
Yeah.
So he's trained them to be the better men of tomorrow because he's not going to will all of his asset to them.
Yeah.
He's going to will enough for them to buy a home, etc. But they have to work because sometimes when your hands tough to children, it come like you are destroy the future of those same children because they're going to vandalize or scandal it because they don't know the value of how it was earned.
And you're right, because even I believe Shaquille O'Neal would have said something similar in regards to his children, that he is not just going to hand things to them, but they have to actually earn a lot. And he said that he would want them to have a degree. So when you present a degree, you get some money, meaning that you have to apply yourself in school. But one of the things you said there that really stuck out for me, you know, oftentimes a lot of persons use the words of, I think, was it Buju Banton that says, circumstances made me who I am. And if you were to give into your circumstance of being born in poverty and hardship, and you were supposed to just simply live according to that, you would not be where you are today.
And as I always say, I'm very proud of my upbringing. I'm not ashamed, and I regret the way I was raised. I regret, yes, I didn't have the opportunity to get the best education. But at the end of the day, a lot of people get the education, but still not being utilizing it accordingly. Because you can have a master, or your parents can fully school you. But what about if you're not willing to make the best out of it?
Yes.
It's like training a child. I training you to do this, to become this person that society will accept. But your mind ain't give you that drive. You have to first accept something and want something in order to achieve it or to be inspired doing it. Like I could remember in 1999, I got a call from that time I used to be by a cousin of ours who have a shop. That was the only person who had, out of probably 3-4 persons who had a house phone in South Rivers them time. And she said, somebody on the line for you. When I go, the person said, okay, is your father, Esroy Bute. He never supported me. So out of nowhere, he called me. He said, okay, I want you to show up tomorrow for an interview at the hospital. I believe in time because I always believe in myself. If self-confidence was a person, it would have been Esroy Bute.
I like that.
Trust you me. One body don't believe in cancel or anything. I don't believe in doubt. I always believe in how can I make it possible? Because there always must be a way to get something done. So I showed up the morning for the interview. And then I sat with Mrs. Pamela Bonady. And then after having the conversation, she realized that I have something, in me that I need the support to achieve. So I got the job. So I was working as they call a porter boy. That, when any document to go out the hospital, come in the hospital, the food stuff, the grocery, etc. I was in charge of that, laundries, everything. And also to get the money to the bank, the stamp, everything goes out and in the hospital. That was my job. And then from there was like a wall of opportunity open there for me. At that time, I have both my legs. There's a lady, she's still alive, named Euphina Stevenson. We used to call her Sister Stevenson. She used to be housed at the nursing hostel. There's a house to the back of the hostel. She used to be living there. She just fall in love with me. Just like Miss Pamela Bonady, she used to trust me. She believed in me, and I used to have the key for her office. Anything she wants, she will call me and say, okay, do this for me, get that for me. There are 3 envelopes of money you can take from anyone you want. She trusts me because she knows I trust myself. Because I believe, just like in Massa, I might jump the gun a bit, but sometimes to get the message across. No, I'm just saying. I'm not going into Massa, but I'm just drawing an example. When I sell somebody a policy, I always say to person, I don't want to deceive anybody by getting this sale because it can hinder me from getting sales tomorrow. So I try to be as honest as I can.
Yeah.
So it goes back to that. She said to me one time, after work I used to go up because she used to ask me, okay, to come up by the hostel. We used to chat, whatever, and then she said, would you like to join the army? I said, sure. Then she gave me some information to apply. I applied. I get a call that a package was there at the Democratic House because this stuff used to be coming to the Democratic House at that time. So I went there. They said to look for your name. I found my name. The package was there for me. In there was some exams, etc. have to do, and then post them back. Then wait for a response. Then the response came in, and that I have a date now. But before giving a date, a final date that you have to travel to England, it was to do a training here. At the time, they used to be trained at the Atley Hall Marine, where you have to pass the interview, the medical, and the physical.
Yes.
So even though you fail the exams, once you pass the medical, the physical, and the interview, you cannot fail the interview and the physical and get through. That time was 500 of us, only 183 of us was selected.
And you were among the 183.
And I was among them, yeah. As much as some of them went to college, etc., and I did not, I was still above the rest of them. Because one thing, I love to listen attentive, and I love to focus, and also be sincere to myself. If I understand something, I will ask you to repeat it. Sometimes a lot of people fail interview because they want to play too educated. They may understand a question, and they try to answer it and messed up. I joined the army on the night, this Saturday night, which was the 10th of March 2001. I went Sand Hill, where Barry Salmon was there performing for ULP. And I reached home in the morning. The same morning I was there, a vehicle was there to take me to the airport. Even though I work hospital up to the very Saturday. That is how much I love to work. Even I was asked, okay, you can take 2 weeks because you're going away. On the 11th, I decided I'm going to work right up to the very Saturday. I left St. Vincent on the 11th of March 2001, reached England the Monday, and then sworn in on Friday, the 16th.
So tell us a little bit about your experience whilst being in the British Army.
Well, the Army, as we know, is a career-driven organization, also a world peacekeeping organization that mold your mind and help you. It's a disciplinary organization also, where it trains you to be a better individual in different career opportunities, skill, etc. So knowing the person that I was raised to be, I enjoy my very little time there.
How long were you in the Army?
Not so long, not so long. But the thing about it is that there are certain stuff that feeling not like a human that you're going through during training. Like for instance, when they have they have different kind of parade. Not parade that we call it parade here where people march, etc. Have we call show parade, staff parade. That is basically for recruit that's summoned because of whatever reason. If they have during inspection, your bed it wasn't made properly, or your uniform wasn't pressed properly, then they will place you on parade.
Oh, okay.
Show parade is where you're standing for 2 hours without moving. So you stand there, sometimes you don't know if you're standing on your own leg, what, etc., feet, whatever.
Yeah,
They're numb. Sometimes, and if you drop, they're leaving you there until the parade is over. That's where they're inspecting every recruit. Make sure your uniform.
So you had to be on the parade.
The right. See, might go on parade already. You know?
Okay.
They're never a recruit during training who never went on parade. There always some reason.
Because it's a learning experience.
A
It's
learning
how you
experience,
grow.
yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, parade, everything in the army is to make you a stronger person. Sometimes some of the things that even the commanders do to you is not because they hate you, but it's to build your mind and to discipline you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to hear from our sponsors another time, and then we'll be right back.
Remember, we set up and you just show up. Make your next picnic a luxury picnic.
It seems like all of your experiences so far has been geared pretty much to make you a strong man. From childhood, then going into the army. But what I love and what is coming out a lot from what you're saying, you have a willpower to persevere. You have a willpower not to give up. So even when it was difficult in the army, and you know, a lot of persons, as you rightly would have said, have a somewhat misconception, because persons like the idea of going into the army because they get to go to England, but they don't realize that it's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort that you have to put in. What would you say to anyone who is looking towards going into the British Army or even in the US Army?
Persons often ask me for advice. I will hear people say, okay, I would love to join the military. I always said to them, I'm not going to encourage nor discourage you, but I'm going to be honest with you. If you love to sleep, don't try it. No, there's not for you. Trust me, the army is not for you if you love to sleep. If you're not a team player, don't apply for the army. It's what teamwork is very, very critical in the army. Like for instance, sometimes they give us 3 to 4 minutes to bathe and dress in your uniform. You have your uniform outside, you have what we call the long johns underneath, then you have to have your notebook, your pen, put on your boots, everything. You have to dress like how you see soldiers
in
dress.
4 to 5 minutes.
4 to 5, and also shower. So sometimes people run in the shower. I mean, 54 of us was in we call Minden platoon. You run into the shower, you don't care who naked, you don't have no time to watch who man they, how they look. I mean, your focus is to get in there. And then the most enjoyable part of it, which can be the saddest part for a lot of people, because who believes in teamwork, will enjoy it. But a selfish person will not enjoy it. Because I mean, the platoon commander will be, one of the platoon commander will be standing by the doorway in the hallway, as we say, corridor. And he will call out one. That means the first person that ready, they won't know who. Run out. Then number 2, they say 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after the time that they expect, everybody's supposed to be in the corridor first. Others are inside. Those who outside getting punished instead of those who late. Because we're supposed to assist each other to get ready. But it's very difficult for me to assist you, given all of us have only 4 minutes. So sometimes I don't have enough time to try to do it right for myself. But I mean, they still expect for us to help each other. That's why they train us in the army to do every and anything possible, because they don't want us to drive and go, like say me and Colin going down Leeward. He have a migraine and he feel getting a blackout and we have to be stuck there. I should be able to take over the steering.
Yes. Okay.
So I mean, because if in the event of
so
a
you
war,
always think about someone else.
You have to be thinking about someone else.
Okay.
And not about only yourself.
All right, very good. So we are going to move now to your story in terms of how you ended up being an amputee. You have an amputation of your leg, and that, I'm sure, would have changed the trajectory or the direction of your life. So you were in the British Army. What transpired? What happened to bring you now to this stage where you are operating with one leg?
Okay. When I come back home to St. Vincent, you know, growing up in the soldiers, we like one family. Everybody related. So when there's a construction going on, you don't have to be looking for everybody to employ, but rather than, I will see my neighbor jogging son, I will go and assist. Banana assist. That's why first we call trade, because if you having you're a farmer, and Saturdays everybody decide to be going in by Miss Dr. Miller farmland this Saturday to assist her. Next week Saturday, so I mean you don't have to be really
And
pay
that's
for
community
labor.
spirit. That's really
Yes.
good.
So I mean when you see someone doing construction, it's for us naturally if we don't have anything to do to assist them. But on that morning, Friday the 29th of November 2002. The lady, we used to go to the same church, New Life Prayer Tabernacle Pentecostal, to come and assist them. I went, that time they was working on the roof. They wasn't putting on the roof, but I mean it was the upper part, they was doing the column, etc. And then the side I was on, let go. I fell. It was from upstairs. The side fell on top of me, crushed my leg. After my leg amputated on the 16th, because the incident took place on the 29th of November, but the amputation took place on the 16th of December.
Okay.
I was discharged on All Year's Day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I went home. I never...
Tell us about the process from being discharged.
Yeah, that's where I'm going,
okay.
yeah. So I discharged and then I went home, go all his service the night, even though I didn't have any training how to use crutches, but I always determined to do stuff. So the pastor picked me up and he drove me to church and back home after all his service. And then he will pick me up for dressing. I actually do dressing 3 times. I have good well in skin. And then January coming, I was there and I said to myself, I'm not going to be around, feel pity for myself. So I accept that this is me. I have to now accept the new me and figure how I'm going to operate as a new person.
One of the things that we generally hear is that big men don't cry and all that stuff. I'm guessing that's
can't
something.
cry because when people, person from church and other persons will be coming looking for me and crying, I will console them because I don't love to be around people crying.
Why is that?
I mean, I don't know. I believe crying and pity and sometimes emotions can't really solve problem. It's about seeking solutions.
But isn't it important sometimes to just simply acknowledge how you
sometimes it
feel?
breaks you. I know sometimes it can only break you. I mean, stressing yourself over something that you have no power over. I mean, everybody come and cry. If the whole world is 7-point-something billion people come and cry for me, my leg is not going to come back.
Especially, persons, family members, friends, to, give the avenue for persons to actually still be able to function and help themselves. But I think sometimes society in itself can cause
stigma and discrimination, because I can tell you from my own experience, you have a person who just lost their leg. And then whenever I come down, whether for work or for whatever reason, sometimes I will see children and the parents walk and they will laugh. One time a little girl was, mommy, look at the man who 1 foot, and the mother laughed too. So that is a sad part of it.
Yeah.
For me, if you ask me what happened, I will answer, doesn't matter how small you are. I'm approachable. And I'm very outspoken, trust you me. I will tell you my mind. I won't paint up anything for you. I'll tell you how it is. But tomorrow we good. Even though I disagree with you today and I don't like the fact that what you are saying and doing will be very hard with the truth. But we should not become enemy because we have different views.
So outside of persons maybe pointing, laughing, what are some of the other things that society-wise or societal-wise that made it difficult? Even
in my own community, where people have different views. Some say probably he killed already, he never reached that stage, or probably retribution. Sometimes people want to encourage me, and sometimes the encouragement based on emotions and pity. Man, I sorry happened to you, man, oh God, what you lost your leg like that and whatever. And I mean, things like that not helping me.
Right. Okay.
I want encouragement, and someday you have to be very careful as to who you take encouragement from, words of advice from, because I mean some people can only offer what they have. Like for instance, encouragement come like a cupboard in your kitchen. If you don't have rice, you can't offer rice.
That is true.
So if you don't have a strong willpower or the mindset, now the knowledge to inspire people, whatever that, something that, mind you me, a person can say something negative to you in the form of encouragement, but based on their level and understanding, it may not be make any sense to you, but we have to appreciate the fact that this is his level at his level. This is his level of understanding.
Right.
So I would not accept it, but I would not make the person feel bad, because I mean, not everybody have the knowledge to give a positive encouragement.
Right.
So if a man come and say, man, I sorry you lost your leg, man, where I go do now, man, you going to just have to sit down in the corner, you know, and then people just come and give you a piece of bread. I mean, I would not vex if you see it like that. But one thing I do believe in, if you believe in yourself, just like respect, respect must be on. If, when I lost my leg, I've been sitting down in South Rivers and sit down by the wayside waiting on somebody to give me an old shirt, a piece of bread, a piece of food, that's all people will be seeing me.
So
wanting.
you have to see yourself differently.
So, but I see myself want opportunity. So people will see me want opportunity and offer opportunity to me.
Yeah.
Is people respect you according to the respect that you seek for.
And that's true. And it's based on how you view yourself.
You view yourself.
And the sad reality is some persons, when they're in situations where they have become disabled, sometimes they use it as a crutch themselves, and they, you know, as a means of getting persons to sympathize rather than empathize. And they allow themselves to become somewhat disabled further, that in their own minds they can't move
mentally
beyond a particular point. But when we think in terms of society and someone who has an amputation, you have one leg, was it difficult, like on public transportations, walking the streets, going into buildings? Because sometimes these are some of these systemic things that can make it so challenging that persons just give up and stay at their homes.
It goes back to mental strength. As I often, this is one of my most favorite terms. A man who can lift a truck up and put it on his shoulder is not a man who is strong. But a man who is mentally strong, who can accept and move forward. Because you have to be mentally strong, especially when you have a condition.
Yes.
Just like, for instance, there are persons who are HIV positive and afraid to enter society, to move about in society because of the stigma. And they're supposed to accept that I'm already HIV positive. There's nothing I can do to change unless if it's the will of God that a miracle work. So they will go around as you, so as normal. So for me now, I don't see myself less than anybody else. I don't look up to people and I don't look down on people, because I mean, naturally, according to God, created us in his own image and likeness. And then he never said, okay, because he said, give. I love giving. That's my driving force, giving. And I mean, one time somebody said to me, but you have one leg. I said, but the Bible never specify who should give. It never said 1 foot man should receive and 2 foot man should give. I mean, is whoever can give. I mean, giving is an action. If you want to ago, one time I was at Alan's truck in town buying bread. And I overheard a gasman security was telling somebody her water bill disconnected, and she asked her children them father for money, and since she stopped sleep with him, he stopped assist. And then by the time she pay her rent, she can't do any other thing. I have a softness for people. I was in the conversation, but I overheard the conversation. One thing I always say to people, if I have the power to pass the law or to preside over any matter regarding parenting, where you bring a woman, report a man for child maintenance, I will send that man to. It's a man's duty to take care of his child or children. Whether you and the woman together or not, the child should not be in the end relationship where you and the woman no longer together and the children them also end. You end your relationship with the child or children, and it creating a problem on society.
Yeah.
So when I heard after she and the person conversation end, I stopped her. At time I was on the youth empowerment service, making $390 something a month, renting a room in Kittels. I mean, that was to something for the room, the rest for transportation. But I believe in faith, and I'm a hustler. So I approached her. So I said, I'm sorry, and I introduced myself. I said, I overheard the card. Not that I was listening into your conversation,
Yeah,
but
but
I
you
overheard because she was speaking that
publicly.
we couldn't
Yeah.
hear. So I said, I have only 390 something, I'm going to give you it to put on because I understand the importance of water. Not like you're in South Rivers where you can go to the river, spring, etc. So she said, but you have one leg. I mean, why should I take money from you? I mean, my conscience won't allow me. I said, do not rob my blessing. I said, I offer you it. My rent ain't pay it for the month. But I gave it and she took it. By the time I reached by People's Pharmacy, I met a guy, Kevin Charles. They used to call him Polish. He used to play in the police band. One I trained in the army together. When he come in and look for me, he said, man, I just get in last night. I had a pass. Where does work? What time? I say, used to. He said, I didn't see you there. I say, well, whatever. He said, man, hold on, pen this. He gave me £250.
Wow.
So in giving, I always be inspired in giving.
Because that's where your blessing
Because I always have the experience that it always comes
back.
back to me. Like, for instance, as a master agent, right? I go to schools and do presentation. They might need a projector, and they ask me, I will buy it from my pocket. It's not that I rich, but I believe in giving. I donate trophies, etc. to schools. That's why people will refer other people to me. I see myself for myself as an investment, a business. When I give back to society, it will come back to me.
Yeah, and that's good. That's definitely commendable, because a lot of times we are so bogged down with what's happening with us, we don't see others. And I really want to, show appreciation to you for the efforts you're making to touch the lives of others. We're going to make our last stop just to tune in a bit to our sponsors. And when we come back, we just want to wrap up by hearing what's next for Mr. Bute. What's next on your trajectory? Where are you heading? What's going on? I know you're a master agent, so I'm not sure if you're going to be the CEO of Master soon. So we'll take this quick break.
At the Vallejo Experience, your total wellness is our concern. We offer professional counseling for a variety of life's personal and corporate challenges, including grief, bereavement, and post-traumatic stress. Our corporate packages also include competitive coping strategies, individual and group dynamics, professional development, and retreats. Perhaps you just need a wellness assessment or some help understanding who you are to restore your emotional balance. Whatever your emotional needs, remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step with the Vallejo Experience. Talk to a specialist today. Call us at 1-784-498-7772 or visit our website at www.vallejoexperience.com.
Attention all business owners. Are you tired of ineffective marketing strategies? Look no further. CG Productions is here to revolutionize your marketing game. We offer quality flyers, promotional videos, all
you for what you have done, and I wish you all God's blessings moving forward. So everyone would want to know
Sorry.
what's next. What's next for Mr. Bute?
Well, what's next? Being an agent of Massa Assist, which is Medical Aid Service Association, is like home for me. Because anything to do with assisting others is something that I have a great passion for. I also have passion for business.
Okay.
And also to communicate with people. So being an agent of Massa, I have the opportunity to express myself in doing all of these. One, selling, doing business, that is part of my job. Interacting with people, part of my job. And helping others is part of my job, because when
And
you
your
send
passion.
that's my passion. So therefore, so being an agent, I started Massa in around October, late, I think it's the 21st of October, 2021. And I was Agent of the Year 2022.
Look at
So
that.
in my first year, I achieved Agent of the Year, which I achieved quite a lot of awards from Massa.
Oh, very good.
Agent of the Month, a lot of Agent of the Months, Agent of the Day. Every incentive Massa put up, Esroy Bute will be the agent in St. Vincent to achieve that.
Oh, very good.
I'm the top agent in St. Vincent, and I'm among the top 10 in the Caribbean out of 130 agents,
Oh,
about
wow.
number 8. And it's really tremendous for me, because most other countries have mandatory Massa. So they don't have to go out like us and persuade and put in
Right,
the
right.
extra effort. But my achievement come from, one, I love to interact, two, communicate, and I have this strategy, because I mean your personality is very important, because it takes more than the 15 benefit that Massa is offering to member to achieve a sale. One, you have to know how to persuade someone. You have to know how to make a person understand why they should have Massa.
Yeah.
So I mean, I believe that God blessed me with this skill and talent. That's why I'm doing well in Massa. Because funnily enough, that sometimes Massa require 15 sales minimum from every agent. And for the last 2 months, these 2 months will be very tough. But I mean, I sometimes ask how I do it. I mean, every morning I pray and I ask God for the amount of sale I want for the day. So I say, God, have your will, have your way. Guide me today. I'm looking for 5 sales. Sometimes I achieve it. Sometimes I achieve none. But I always set a goal that if I set a goal for 15 this week, that means today I want 3. If I can get the 3 today, going harder tomorrow to achieve that 3 sales.
And you stick with it.
And I stick with it. I mean, it's discipline. You have to discipline yourself.
And consistency.
And then not always about working hard, but working strategically and also smart. Because I have my place. Like, for instance, I walk North Leeward, North Windward. People see me all over the place. Because I understand how to do this thing. I do Massa like a politician. I even do house to house.
So, okay, someone is listening and looking at all that you have been doing, what you have been achieving. If you were now to basically give them one word of advice, maybe the person has an amputation, maybe the person has an illness or something that is causing them to feel bunged down, that they don't feel that they could push through, what would be your one word of advice for that person?
1, believe in yourself. 2, because nobody can believe in you unless you believe in yourself. Because even though the whole world believe in you and applaud you and you can't believe in yourself, you're not going to make it. Determination, you must be determined. I mean, failure is a part of success.
Yes.
You can start a business today and realize money into the business. But one day you're going to reap that reward.
Yes.
It's not about expecting to achieve a goal today, but set a long-term goal. So determination comes into play. Consistency is not about giving up. You have to continue, want to do it. Persistency. So as I mean, we need a lot of different qualities. We need these qualities rather to achieve goals, because you have to have the confidence also Because some of them going to schools and present to teachers, going to doctors, these kind of posts that society look up to because of the level of education that is required to do these kind of jobs. Some people might have fear. That's why every agent does want to work with me, go out with me, because I love to be the one to talk. Standing here in front of people with PhD, masters, etc., presenting massa, the kind of question people be asking you, you have to be very sharp, because sometimes you have 15 minutes to present to an audience. And then the question, sometimes you have to be very smart when presenting. You have to know how to manage the questions and how to also sell your product, because one question can close the 15 minutes without you get across your message.
Yeah.
So I'm here to market dairy milk. I can't allow you to ask me all kind of questions before I explain to the people why they should drink dairy product. And why the product, why it's important to have the product, etc. So I said to posters whether with this whether physical or mental challenges or whatever challenges you have, because some people, they have every body part intact, but remember, all of us, every human being have a form of disability. Because disability not only a man who blind, who deaf, who have one leg, who is in wheelchair, etc. It's something that you can't do, because if somebody to put you in a helicopter right now and you have to fly that across to Grenada to save your life, you find yourself disabled. So naturally we should not look down on anyone.
Right.
Standing here in front of people with PhD, masters, etc., presenting massa, the kind of question people be asking you, you have to be very sharp, because sometimes you have 15 minutes to present to an audience. And then the question, sometimes you have to be very smart when presenting. You have to know how to manage the questions and how to also sell your product, because one question can close the 15 minutes without you get across your message.
Yeah.
So I'm here to market dairy milk. I can't allow you to ask me all kind of questions before I explain to the people why they should drink dairy product. And why the product, why it's important to have the product, etc. So I said to posters whether with this whether physical or mental challenges or whatever challenges you have, because some people, they have every body part intact, but remember, all of us, every human being have a form of disability. Because disability not only a man who blind, who deaf, who have one leg, who is in wheelchair, etc. It's something that you can't do, because if somebody to put you in a helicopter right now and you have to fly that across to Grenada to save your life, you find yourself disabled. So naturally we should not look down on anyone, but rather see each other as to who we are, because God sees us equally.
Yes. Yes.
That's why he never said, okay, a man in a wheelchair don't have to ask forgiveness to go to heaven. God doesn't compromise.
That is
He
it.
expects that we all have to seek forgiveness, regardless to your physical or mental or condition. We all have to seek repentance. You could have all the money in the world, you know. You can't
I
bribe
like
God.
that.
You can't
So
bribe
we are
God.
all equal,
We are all
and we can
equal.
all learn and grow and build from each other.
Even before Obama said we can, I always know I can.
So that's very good. So we're going to use the words of
Because
Obama.
let me go back to something very fast. Last year, to attend master sales conference, you have to achieve 100, and within the last 6 months, you have to achieve 175 sales minimum. Last year, by the end of November, I still need 58 sales. So this office manager said to me, Bute, you need 58 sales to if you want to make it or not. Another agent didn't need 26. And I laugh. I said, that's small scene. I said, by the first week in December, I'm going to achieve that. Trust you me. If I believe, if I want something, I
Then
am
you
the
work
kind of
towards
person
it.
who is going the extra mile to achieve it. I will not do anything pansy schemish, not out the way, but I will put in the work. I will go the extra mile, the extra hours. I work on Sundays to achieve my goals. By the 8th of December, I was already qualified. And the agent who didn't need 26, I still have to help him get his 26. Mind you, me, I get paid by commission. So to help another agent get sale, give sale to them, it's come like you put in money in somebody else's pocket. I am the only agent in Massa who give other agents sales. I don't like to know I alone eat. I don't feel happy to know I put in 3, 4, 5 sales a day and some agents struggling. I will share sales with agent.
And that's quite commendable. And that just goes to show the person that you are. And I mean, even as persons are listening and they are going to be inspired by that story, I want persons to always be mindful of the need to extend your hand to bring someone else up, even as you are pushing through on a day-to-day basis. Help another person who may not be where you are as yet.
Man, you may, I could be one of the hardest person to love.
Well-
But if you get close to me, you're gonna love me. Trust me. I mean, on social media, whatever, I will comment and express myself. I will, if I see a post about somebody I don't like, I will speak my mind about it. But if you meet me, I will greet you. I hold no
And that's
grudges.
good.
I mean, but some people, we live in a society where we like people to paint stuff to us. You have an old car, the engine not working, spray it up nice and sell it to them new brand. We love people to tell us what we want to hear, rather than people
But
to feel
it is-
free,
yes.
express yourself. That is my opinion. You should not disagree with me because I express myself and express the way. That is how I
Well,
view
that's
it.
true.
That is how
But
I view
it's
it.
just to make sure that persons are not being hurt in the process.
Well,
Because being
something you have
open,
to choose your word. But I mean, there are some
Yes.
people who emotionally weak where they'll get hurt for the slightest of things. Because I mean, sometimes
but
criticism
everybody
supposed to be.
carries, so let me hold you there. Everybody carries different things and everybody experiences life in a different way.
True.
And we have to be so mindful that even as we are assertive and we are open and free-spirited and we can speak, anything can come from us in a transparent way. Not everyone is at the same level, and that is just something that we
But
have to
mind you, me,
accept.
even though I agree
Yes.
with you, I still disagree to some point because sometimes, because we know people, sometimes they're easy to cry or easy to break down, we try to tell them things that they want to hear, but can destroy them at the long run.
Right, I will never support anybody being deceived in any way or being misled. But at the same time, we understand that while
Choose your
I
word
might
care-
be able
choose your
to
word
sit to you
carefully.
today, Mr. Bute, bam, 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 1, 2, 3, and you can take it, someone else may not be at the level to receive what you're able to receive. But we are so thankful nonetheless that regardless to where we are at, there is always someone who has gone before us.
Yep.
And there are always
Someone
lessons
will
to be
come.
learned
True.
that we can just simply gather from them. And there is so much to be gathered from your story, and I'm thankful that you took the time to come on the podcast today just to encourage others and to share your story. I want to tell everyone, remember that it is about sharing your story to empower others. What we endure, yes, we may be the one facing it, we may be the one experiencing it, but we are of the belief and the mindset that whatever we endure, it is for someone else's benefit as well. So share your testimonies. And if there's anyone who have a life-changing experience or something that they would want to share, reach out to us, send us a message, inbox us, and we'll see how best we can fit you in on one of our podcast programs. I am Dr. Jozelle Miller, and I'm thankful for your time, that you would have stayed with us just to hear Mr. Bute's story and to be part of this experience. And remember that we will be back next month, another podcast episode, and we are coming to you from the lovely ambience of the Sunset Shows in St. Vincent. If you ever come to St. Vincent for a vacation, please find them as your first choice of accommodation. Thank you. Bye-bye.
As you navigate your path through life, all that is required is that you take one step at a time. Though hard it may be at times, each day, be committed to show up strong. Some days your strength can look different to other days. Just know this, that whenever you're at your worst, try to look your best. Dress up and face the world. That's the first step towards moving forward. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one simple step. Lao Tzu.